like to welcome everybody to the 701 Coach's Corner with Coach Jelks. I'm your gracious host, C. Mitchell. Coach Jelks, talk to us a little bit about this resilient win that you guys just had over Holy Innocents. You guys were a lot more disciplined over the past 2 weeks. Speak to us a little bit about just how you guys have been able to catch your stride at this point.
The past week's win against Holy Innocents is a huge one, and one we kind of circled the date on. Last year, we felt like definitely didn't go our way, but we were more upset about just not having the time to really prepare the way that we needed to. And so took those experiences and then having 2 weeks to prepare for that option team really helped us in terms of just getting the guys to understand their assignment, stay disciplined. You know, they were actually hungry for this one. Just excited, man, that the guys went out there and fought and did a tremendous job, as well as the coaching staff. Definitely not an easy feat to face that option. A couple of linemen that didn't come off the field in that game. And so good to be a part of. And, you know, we kind of just looking forward to the next one.
Speaking of your linemen, you've got some really tremendous play on your offensive line, but both ways, because like you said, some of those guys played on the defensive line. Speak to me a little bit about how the toll of that.
It's the first game that those guys have had to play the whole game, but we knew after last year we needed to be a little bit bigger up front against this team. And so O'Shea Stroman, Marcus Andrews, Demario Brown. That's one senior and two juniors. The three of those guys played fantastic the whole night. You know, we knew in the summertime that when it got down to this point, those guys were going to have to step in there. It was a region championship type atmosphere, and they were willing to go and put their bodies on the line, man, for the greater good of the team. And so extremely proud of those guys, and I'm just looking forward to how they're going to finish throughout the stretch. But truly kind of the heart and soul of what we were able to do this past weekend.
Going into this next week against Southwest Dekalb, you guys are currently under a 3-way tie, if I'm not mistaken, with Westminster, who you've beaten,
and
Hateville Charter. It's such a convoluted setup in terms of what has to happen, but completely just winning will give you that crown as long as you win by, I believe it's 2 points.
2 points, yeah.
Is that something you think about it much, or how that seeding is going to pan out, or is it just, hey, just win the game?
Well, it's a little bit of both. We definitely want to win the games, but winning that region championship and getting that number one seed going into the playoffs is going to be everything. To be able to have home playoff games, people have to come up here to Memorial Stadium and face us. I feel good about our chances. We lost that first region game against Hateville, and Hateville lost to Westminster, but they won all the other region games they've had. They have to face Holy Innocents this week. If they win, because they lost to Westminster, and it's a point system there, and we have more points than Hateville does. So in the event that we finish with a 3-way tie, we will win the region championship. That's all we can kind of do at this point, take care of this game against Southwest Dekalb, and we're excited about it. You know, it's a rival, definitely from back when we were in school. You know, the Southwest Stephenson gang was everything. And so just looking forward to taking those guys on this week.
What can you tell us about what you're expecting from them and how you guys plan the game plan for them a little bit offensively?
Well, first and foremost, we know that they're always going to play hard at Southwest versus Stephenson. So we don't expect anything less than their best. And so they're going to come after us, and they're going to play hard. They got a linebacker that was a state wrestling champion this past year, and a receiver / DB as well. Two of the more talented kids. From us, you know, our formula doesn't really change. We're going to figure out how we can run that ball, you know, get Devin Ingram in space. He's had a phenomenal year. I think he's up to about 1,500 yards in the season, and closing in on a touchdown record that's held by the running back coach, Raymond Sanders. And so I think the guys will be fired up to try to get him that record. Offensively, we're going to kind of attack this thing, you know, the same way we do every week. You know, just hard work, you know, with planning and making sure we get guys in right positions to get us across the goal line each time we touch the ball.
Yeah. Devin Ingram has been tremendous, man. Hopefully we can maybe get him on the show. You guys got some really nasty offensive linemen. Devin Ingram runs really hard and violently. Is that just a straight up philosophy that you just came in with, or is it more you adapt your system to the strengths of the guys that you have and the personality of the guys that you have?
It's absolutely that. I mean, it's a certain standard that we have, that we're going to have in Stephenson football in general, being fast and physical. the type of guys we have, though speaks to that as well. We, working with them every day in, day out, about being physical, going hard, about going through the whistle. Those kind of things is really starting to show up, at this point in the year, when you have to be able to run the ball. And so, we praise those guys, and really just speaks volume into the way that those guys work day in and day out. I think all of them, you can kind of see and feel in their play that they want to be dominant. They want to be nasty. They want to, get after people and win games in a physical way. And we applaud it. That's what our standard is, and that's kind of what we're shooting for every week.
Going into this game with Southwest, uh, there is a classic rivalry, but their record isn't as great as it typically could be. And with teams, sometimes it can be a tendency to play down toward competition. With you guys already having your playoff berth, how do you maintain that intensity? How do you feed the beast?
Obviously, the standard is a standard, and we want to continue to remind them of what the standard is. But the best thing, or one of the best things that happened to us this year, is those two early losses. If you'd have told us before the season started that we'd have lost two games to those teams, we'd have lost a lot of money betting on that. I think at this point they understand that we got to keep the main thing, and bring our best every week, because programs of this stature, it's the other team's Super Bowl all the time. We have to continuously remind them of that and continue to work toward our goal each week. They see that the formula that we have now is working, getting after each other throughout the week, and then it transcends over onto the game field come Thursday, Friday night. Just keeping our, kind of keeping our foot on their neck. And I've been proud in the fact that it's been a great deal of focus over these past couple of weeks. It's a great time, a year, for us to kind of be clicking on all cylinders right there. It's Southwest Dekalb. I don't feel like we're going to have to get them up for this game because it's Southwest Dekalb. Teams like Southwest Dekalb, these neighborhood rivalries, they kind of get up for those, and then it's a record at stake. And so I think they're going to take to it, and they're going to be ready to go come Friday.
I'm excited to see where you guys go next with this. I hope that Devin Ingram can definitely get that record this week. That would definitely mean a lot and make a statement with you guys going into the playoffs. We're gonna go ahead and tap in with Coach Payne and talk about a little bit of the swagger with the defense and how he plans to attack Southwest Dekalb. Good luck this week coming up with Southwest.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. See Mitchell.
All right, absolutely, Coach. Take care. How you doing, Coach Payne? Welcome to the 701. It was a really tough win for you guys. The defense was on the field for a long time. In the second half, you guys had a few ghost and phantom penalties, and you guys still were resilient. Can you speak to me a little bit about how you were able to get so much out of your guys? The defensive line was tremendous.
The guys that came over from the offensive side of the ball up front really helped us out. The 2 weeks that we had to prepare for the triple option helped us out a whole heck of a lot. We were able to get a lot of reps. Those things, in addition with those guys, having the want to and willingness to go both ways. Just a couple of those offensive linemen, they chomping at the bit to play on the D line. That helped out tremendously. They want to do it. That was what can be attributed to our success on defense, because they were big up front. They played a huge part in the victory.
You've mentioned a few times that you guys are a little undersized, but you still get a lot out of those guys. What can you tell us about how you go into these games expecting teams to try to attack that? Because you guys responded very well to Holy Innocents trying to play bully ball.
We used the two platoon a little bit more. We've been talking about personnel a whole lot in our coaches' meetings and figuring out how we can get the best guys on the field in the best situations. Traditionally, our D line, or for the last, year or two, we've been having a lot of guys that are good pass rushers, but they don't have a whole lot of weight to them. So a lot of our defense is predicated off of speed, being able to run. But when you get those teams like a triple option team, or a team that likes to run the ball very, very heavy, those pass rushers aren't as effective as having that beef in the middle. And so we were able to kind of get a nice rotation in there with some of the guys that traditionally played D-line did. However, we got a little beef from the offensive line to kind of help us. Marcus Andrews, who also plays center, ended up giving us some quality reps. Demario Brown, actually gave us some quality reps as well up front, and they weren't able to push us around like somebody else that would have 30, 40 pounds less. So that beef definitely helped us out.
What are you expecting from Southwest Dekalb in this upcoming game? What can you tell us about how you're expecting to have to defend them?
I think that they do have a couple of athletes. They have a receiver. I think he's committed to BYU. We're going to have to make sure that he doesn't have a breakout game and kind of try to keep clamps on him. They do have some athletes that can run. Southwest Dekalb did win the state championship last year, and a couple of those guys that were on that track team or on the football team as well. So anytime you can run, it just takes one or two mistakes or being out of position, and that can actually come back to hurt you. So we just want to make sure that we keep tackling well. I was pleased with how we tackled last week. And if we can continue that going into the playoffs, I think that'd be good. Just playing assignment football, making sure that we are where we're supposed to be, and when it's our turn to make a play, we make that play.
Your linebacker play has also been very tremendous. You've gotten a few turnovers and picks and sacks out of those guys as well. How have you guys just created such a swagger on that defense? I know you did play on the team while there was Coach Sellers there, and I know there's some similarities to how you guys build your defense, but you have your own unique stamp on things.
We have some of the same philosophies for sure. Just being a product of Stephenson High School myself, I took a lot of things from Coach Sellers, and I still go to him for counsel in some instances. When it comes to defending or getting ideas about how he would do certain things. I think that what we want to try to do is establish the standard, which was set by him and Coach Gartrell, in that we're going to play hard. We're going to play fast. We're going to be physical when we do it. And we're going to play assignment sound football, alignment, assignment, responsibility. That's what Coach Sellers used to always say. And, as long as we're playing together, I don't really think we're going to give a lot of people some problems. If we're playing together, we're communicating, and we're tackling well. I think, anybody that plays us will have a difficult time moving the ball on us or getting in the end zone for that matter. So, that's kind of how we attack it, and trying to make sure that we extend that legacy of solid defense at Stephenson High School.
Moving forward, not to get too much ahead, but how do you expect teams to continue to attack you guys, given that you've shown that you can, stand up to the run, and you're also very tremendous and solid against the pass on the front end and on the back end?
I think we try to make sure that we attack them before they attack us. A lot of times we're not stagnant in where it is that we line up. Try to do a lot of movement. Try to make sure that they have to, account for where we are as opposed to the opposite. So that's my deal, is to make sure that offenses have to prepare for us, just as much as we have to prepare for them, and not just sit there and allow them to run their offense without any complication. So we try to throw a little wrinkle or wrench into every game, something that they haven't seen before, and so I feel like if we do that, we can get them behind the sticks, and hopefully our offense gets on the field and produces some points, and then we'll be in some advantageous situations.
All right, Coach. Well, that's our time for today. I really appreciate you coming in and giving us your input and answering questions for the 701. If you guys out there want to check out the full video, Point Game on YouTube, and that's Point Game Official on IG. I'm your gracious host, C. Mitchell, for the 701, with D Payne, the great legend in the making defensive coordinator for Stephenson High School. And just thank you so much, Coach. Wish you luck this week coming up with Southwest Dekalb.
All right. Appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely, Coach. We'll tap in next week.